Sorry, guys, you got that unsolicited dick there.
I didn't hear the intro music.
I didn't either.
It didn't happen. It was just this, and then it went away.
Dick pics.
And let's do it. Okay.
It's gonna be a great stream, guys. It's gonna be a great stream.
Welcome everybody to May, the month, and we are.
It is May.
It is May, and this is our first live discussion for The Prey of Gods by Nicky Drayden, and we're discussing up to part 4, which is through chapter 25. Stop at chapter 26.
For everyone who read ahead.
Everyone who read ahead. We've got
looking
some
at you,
here.
Christy.
It didn't mean to. It just happened.
Is that the first time you've ever read ahead?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, and it's only like 4 or 5 chapters, but it just.
They're short chapters.
But we've seen how much can happen.
Yeah,
in
really.
4 or 5 chapters. All right. Well, if you have not gotten to the midway point, be warned. We are going to ruin things for you.
Oh, yes.
So, if you are not okay with spoilers, what you doing here?
Hey,
nice.
You're hanging out with us. So, we got some people here in the comments. If we want to mention their names.
Talia.
Do we? Oh, is that me? All right.
Yes, warm up.
I have to like rewind like a bunch, and everyone's already making jokes about dick pics. Hi, Spare and Giggles. It's Mike and Spare. Kay and Tammy and Kay. Woo. Hi, Jan and Ashley and Bobby and Rachel and Peggy, Emily, Ashley, Cindy, Leanne, Matthew, Philip, Katie, Donna, Lisa, Jennifer, Ashley, Mike, Jody, Leanne, Brandy, Melissa, Rick, Carolyn, and Jeff. Hi, Adrian, Henry, and Kent, and Kay, Philip, and Judy, and Martin. Hi, Bethany, and Cindy, and Mike again, and Ashley, Kelly, Rebecca, Peggy, Willa, Bobby.
Fantastic.
Oh, gosh, y'all talk a lot.
And StreamYard.
Hi.
Fantastic. All right. Well,
Hi, Julie.
Julie, just stopping by. Tell your nephew hello. And probably should wait a little while to read this book if you're 3. Yeah. This is an
like
interesting
30,
one.
like 30 years.
Let's do a recap.
Okay, recap
real quick.
It's a long recap.
Well, I'm going to do it by person just because that's what made sense to me. So Muzi last used his powers on Papa Fuzz and learned about his lies, and he erased the memories of his mind control from Papa Fuzz and his team. Sydney takes Namvula from the wreckage of her town and uses her to get the Ria Nitrogen tickets from Muzi. Namvula brings fireballs down and wipes out her whole village. She talks to Muzi's Alfie and convinces it that it has a gift and should be its own master. Stoker auditions as Felicity Lyons to open for Ria Nitrogen, and he gets the part or the place or whatever, and his assistant tries to blackmail him, so he knocks him out. His mother handles it by having his assistant's memories wiped, and then Stoker realizes that his memories have been wiped at some point as well. And Ria Nitrogen escapes from her father, that was weird, and learns that healing her pain and others' pain stops her from hurting and makes her voice better. So that's where we are. That's where everybody is.
Okay.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Just say it.
Sure.
This book is wild, y'all.
This book is nuts.
It is.
This
There's a
book-
lot going on.
I wrote it down. It was so funny. So we hopped on. We always hop on a few minutes before. And Christy said, this book is wild. And I was like, look, I took notes. And I don't remember where I was in the book when I wrote that. But I said, this book is wild.
That was like, that's all I could say to Christy after like finishing a section. I would be like, this book is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's, so what do we think of the book so far? Now let's also just do a disclaimer. We have some, where all opinions are welcome. If you love the book, that's great. If you hate the book, that's great. We're here to
yes,
to discuss it all.
We're here to facilitate discussion in a kind and weird manner. And honestly, we don't care if you loved the book or if you hated it, because we didn't write it. We all just read it together, and now we want to talk about it.
So, Christy, you go first.
I'm really enjoying this book. There's so much going on, and it's just so interesting. And like I was telling Adam earlier, like, it's so unique. I've never read anything like this, and I love all the different things going on and all the different people. And I mean, of course, there's some parts that made me very uncomfortable, but I'm really enjoying it. I mean, not the uncomfortable bits, but the book. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I am also like, I found this to be a rather bizarre page turner for me, because every chapter I got to, I was like, oh my god, and then I kept going, and I didn't want to, like, it for some reason it captivated me. I'm enjoying it. It is excelling at making me feel quite uncomfortable in places, and I think we all share that. But I am enjoying it. It's like if Quentin Tarantino made Good Omens. It's like kind of giving me like a Good Omens vibe, but like Quentin Tarantino came and like just dropped acid on it, and like that's what this is. But it's I had to force myself to stop, and that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, it's one that you want to
reason,
just keep reading.
This one was maybe I just like this. Can it get any more crazy? And probably.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah, there's something behind my head.
Beatty.
Yeah, so I took notes while I was reading, and I just went in chronological order. I don't remember what everything was in response to, but breakers through them, I just would write in all caps, what? And then, no. And then, what? No. Over and over and over again. But that being said, and someone said it in the comments, I think, too, or on one of the discussions, that this author, even though these are some crazy, dark, and heavy things that are happening, the author does such an interesting job of weaving humor in that it didn't feel like it was dragging me down. It made it feel like a much more well-balanced weirdness. And I'm really into it. It's like Christy said, I don't know that I've never read anything like this. And especially when you read a lot of like sci-fi fantasy, you do start to feel like a bunch of stuff kind of falls in like a rhythm of like, not necessarily that you know what to expect like with the story, but like you kind of like have expectations of how a book turns out. And I have zero clue what to expect with this book. I never know what is going to happen. I never know where it is going to go. And it is fun and crazy and weird, but I'm digging it.
Yeah, is there something, like somebody said it before, like, I'm really enjoying this book. Is there something wrong with me? And I feel the same way.
I know, like, I should feel bad, right? That I'm enjoying a book that has like some really dark stuff in it, but the author has just, I feel like, done such an interesting job of, I don't know, situationally, like, I think Dan said it a second ago, that it made him think of recursion. And same thing, not that they have anything in common, but there's something about the vibe that book gave off where it was just unique. And that it made me think of that. It also, and this is a horribly embarrassing comparison, but it made me think of like those holiday movies, not the Christmas ones, but they did like a couple. There's like a Valentine's Day one, and
with
like a New Year's
30
one.
people in it.
Yeah, where it's like where you just get a snippet of everyone's story, and then by the end, it shows you how their stories are all interwoven. That it made me think of that, but
New Year's Day.
But this is way better than that. So,
Lucas.
I like the cover of this book.
Okay.
I was expecting the Iron Giant 2 2064.
You judged it by its cover.
I did not get the Iron Giant 2 2064, but that's okay. There's a lot to unpack here, and I don't know what to unpack. I feel like I'm on a big vacation, and I'm going to multiple places, and I need a bathing suit, and I also need something for like negative 30-degree weather, and I need everything, and my brain can't really handle it right now.
That's fair.
I think it's well written, and I like certain aspects, and I'm really hoping that, like some of these other books that have been mentioned, that I'm going to be like, yeah, that paid off really well, because I really like I like certain characters a lot, but then I just don't know what to focus on. I feel in some ways that all these great ideas just got thrown into a blender right now, and it got thrown and then just tossed at the wall. It's like, cool, that's my book. And I don't know. I want it to pay off, because I get it. Like, it's weird and it's cool. It is not a page turner for me. I am listening to it, but I like certain aspects and I like certain parts. Yes, I was very uncomfortable from the start, but that's cool. I don't know. I judge books by covers, guys, and I like this little girl and her robot, and I haven't really seen this little girl and her robot, although I know the robot and I know the little girl. So I don't know. I can see where she's weaving it together, and like you're starting to see some of the cross sections come together a little bit and how they're going to interact, like Crash, right? I don't know if someone said Crash earlier, but it's that kind of thing where you're like, oh, that's how it all pulls together. So I don't know. It's I'm really up in the air right now on it.
I think that's cool. From what we've seen in the group, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think we had quite a few people who didn't even make it, who like closed it and were like, not for me, and they put it down, and that's fine. I honestly think, though, that if I had stopped, like, I feel like because we are the 4 facilitators of the conversation, that we have no choice when it comes to finishing the book.
It's true.
But I think if that were not the case, it is entirely possible that I would have put this book down at some point and been like, you know what, not now. That I'm not going to do this now. And I would have picked up something else. But that being said, I don't know when it happened, but now, like, I want to finish the book tonight, and I can't because I have to be up early in the morning. But yeah, I don't. It's almost like it happened throughout the day. Like, I mean, I read it
today. Don't kid everyone.
I read it today, but here's the thing. But it wasn't like during the book I was reading the book and I was like, this is weird, this is wild, this is what is happening? And then, like, you know, that was a couple hours ago, and in the couple hours since then, I've realized I'd be like, I want to pick the book back up. I need to keep going. It's like something that happened after the fact, and I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah, well, she
weird.
She admits that she lives in Austin, Texas, where you're supposed to be weird. So she admits that on the back of the book.
I think I really like her.
Her writing style is so different, and it's tonally this book has an edge, it's kind of got this like sort of razor sharp edge to it, and which
like
is
a spearhead,
like a
disinfected spearhead.
Yeah.
It's very sharp edge. Get it?
We need a dick count. Yeah, we should have a tally marker at the end.
Every time it's going up there. But yeah, like, there was something compelling about it that made me want to continue, and I don't know why either. Like, I would just get to the end of the chapter and be like, I could do another. And I read it over a short period of time. I finished it like a couple of days ago, or maybe yesterday, or a couple of days ago, or maybe yesterday. And but it didn't take me long. Like, it was like
a pretty quick read.
Like, I don't feel like it's that short of a book, but like, it read a whole lot faster than definitely Red Sister.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I felt like when I got to the end, I was like, oh, I'm there. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I'm saying this.
Kent is asking.
I agree though. Like, and Red Sister is not like it is not a big book, but I think it's how the author has written it. And for sure, Red Sister, even though I really enjoyed Red Sister and everything that I was reading, the pacing, I did feel like you had to like was like a fight to get through the book.
Mhm.
And this one, you're just like, oh, there's something easy about flipping the pages, even though what's on them is not.
So the translation is I think, therefore I am.
Yeah, apparently the
They
audiobook
actually-
just says it.
I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
pretty-
does.
those chapters, I will say the narrator of the audiobook is really stellar.
Mhm.
I don't know his background, but I mean, he nails the, not all of it, but I mean, binary, you got to think binary breaks down. It's
I don't know these things. I'm not a robot.
but yeah, he's got a really good voice and does the accents perfectly. I think he must have African descent or something, have been from there, because he really nails it. But yeah, the robot chapters are cool.
Yeah, and I didn't even know, because I'm reading the book on Kindle, and I was like, yeah, I think somebody in the comments translated the binary, and Christy was like, it says I think, therefore I am. And I was like, oh, well, just tell me what it is.
Yeah.
She didn't realize that it wasn't in the actual book.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool touch. I don't know if it comes into play in the second half, or if the author ever actually does tell you, for those who are just reading the book. But either way, it's thoughtful. I dig it.
It's
No
cool.
pun intended. Thoughtful. It is.
So,
It is.
Lucas, you mentioned the robot on the cover.
Yes.
I do not see the alpha bots like this at
They
all.
look like little spiders in my mind. Like
I-
little
Yeah,
spiders with
they're
ball
not.
heads.
I thought
I
they were
don't
like
think-
Roombas.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it
don't
was at
think-
first. I thought it was
I
like
don't
a
think
Pit
that's
Boy
Alpha Bot.
from Fallout. You know, it's like
Mhm.
I was thinking more like an arm thing, and you're doo-doo-doo-doo.
No, it says that their legs can fully retract into themselves, because at one point Stoker grabs it and he says he holds it under his arm like a football and runs out.
Yeah.
So it is a carryable
Hmm.
thing. So who is this? And
I
when
don't
are we
know.
gonna meet him?
Maybe this is
I'm intrigued.
maybe this is the Mega Man 1 version of, like, somebody just kind of got a gist of the book and was like, I guess I'll draw that.
Oh, this cute little umbrella though.
Except it's
and
way better than Mega Man 1, Adams.
Bobby said that she thinks the bot on the cover is a Delta bot, which are the ones that work. Like they do the taxi
Oh.
driving and the paparazzi taking.
But yeah, I pictured like a ball with little spider legs that come out of it.
Not Nightmare Fuel.
No, definitely not.
Yep, Rick says laptop-sized spiders.
That's terrifying.
I pictured more like, because they kept saying football, so to me it was like, Hey Arnold's head with little like
legs.
tripod
Like
things.
a tic tac.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because that seems less scary to me.
Oh, something else I thought was really funny is Elkin named his Alfie piece of shit, and that reminded me of Old Man's War when they were all naming their like head computers.
The brain pals.
Their brain pals.
Brain pals.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
always be nice to robots, because you never know what the future is actually going to be like. And
Yes.
computers have real long memories.
Yeah, this is very important advice for anybody out there in cyberspace land and the robots listening to us.
Be nice to robot. We love robots. Are our friends.
I like Robot.
Robots.
Yes.
Or as John Voight says, robot.
Robot.
So a lot of people thought the Alphabots were their favorite characters. Kelly mentioned there's so much sadness and misfortune in what we've read so far, but her favorite character is the Alphabots, and she really hopes they are the heroes of the story. There was someone else who mentioned something similar.
But I mean, we've really only witnessed personality from, what is it? Something 4-1?
Oh, Clever for
Clever.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I wonder, is this unique? Because they talk about at some point a warranty is like mentioned. And I
5-year
wonder, is
warranty.
it this
Well,
specific Alphabot, or is it all of them? And that's why there's like a 5-year warranty cutoff. If like after that point they start to develop this AI
Yeah.
ability.
and the Alphabot clearly had something they needed to do when this happened. Like there was rules already in place. They're supposed to send themselves in.
Yeah, I'm getting like Johnny Five vibes from Alphabot. Like Johnny Five is alive. Like Alphabot's having a bit of an existential crisis. Short Circuit, you never seen
Short
Short
Circuit
Circuit?
from the 1980s. It's just like little. It's kind of a weird picture
Yeah,
of
it's
bad
Is that
80s
a TV
robot.
show?
It's
the
the
movie.
old like
No.
kid befriends a thing, but in this case, it's not an alien; it's a robot. But like like he's kind of having this existential crisis where he's sort of wondering what he is and all that. I don't know why this is there. It's just this thing that says upload background. Oh, that's gone. Oh, now it's there.
I don't see anything.
It's just on my thing. But so the alpha bots, yeah, like it's kind of a slow burn. Somebody said it before. They're getting the slow burn with the alpha bots, but I think Nomvula just made a connection with
definitely
with Clever. So we're there. There you go.
Yeah.
In a second too, right?
Yeah.
Second.
Well, yeah, and that kind of
reminded
me of what's the books we've just been reading?
What? The
Bobiverse. Like they're so smart. They do things like in like fractions of a second, but it takes like they're able to have whole conversations or research, and then it's no time for actual humans.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's a reference I get. And I didn't even have to go there. So
looking at the notes I took.
But yeah, so we got like several different storylines, and some people were saying that the storylines, there's a bunch of different things happening, but they are starting to converge a little bit, yeah. Like you got the two rugby players and Nomvula and Sydney, and holy crap, we got to talk about Sydney just because. Look, every time we read a book like Neverwhere that have Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer, and you're like, how could you get any worse? And then we get to this book, and you're like, oh.
You think Sydney's worse than Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Like, I think she's got like.
There's potential, maybe.
There's potential for her. Like, if she had full power, she would surely be worse. She's just a little bit powerless now, but she needs to prey on people's fear.
Well, that's one way to get power.
But she is not like Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandermeer were just kind of creepy in the Mr. Winton, Mr. Kid from Diamonds Are Forever kind of way. But Sydney is like sometimes like she's just like doing people's nails and she's just like trying to pay the rent.
Yeah, which sucks. Like if you have powers, if you're trying to pay rent, you suck. I don't know what you are, but like that's like a vampire that's just broke. Like a broke vampire, you suck at being a vampire because you should be rolling in money.
Okay, but see, I liked that because I feel like everything that we read when someone has like a power of any kind, all of a sudden it makes them like an almighty person where everything is easy to them. This is my mansion. These are my fortunes. These are my
but you can manipulate the system then.
But
Mr.
how?
Bond.
She doesn't have those abilities, and I like that we
Blackmail.
got to see that this is an immortal being having to function. Like, how would you make it through life if you had to pretend to be a real person in the real world? And I enjoy the aspect that we never really get that before.
I think it's funny, like, you have this person who wants her to have her powers grow, and the way to do that is to get fear, but the better way to do that is to get people to follow. Like she like preys
to believe
on
in you,
followers, and when that happens, she's capable of truly heinous things. But other than that, like it hurts her to use powers, and she's got to like ration them some.
Yeah. Well, I got the impression Sydney has been laying low for a very long time, like years or decades. Or, well, she's been in that apartment for what, 6 years, she said? So I feel like her thing is kind of cyclical. Like she lays really low and then she goes on a feeding frenzy and then moves. And then
yeah, you can only stick so many bodies in the garbage chute.
Yeah, but
those are probably starting to smell.
And she did all of that within a couple of days, though. So it seems like she really ramped it up. And I don't know if it's because like it was time or if it's because she sensed Nomvula and knew that she needed to make a move.
Yeah,
against her.
I think that's why. I think she was like, oh, time to enact the plan. But I did write, because everybody else said it. I said, how dare she trick us into liking Sydney in an intro chapter and then reveal her true nature so brutally in the second. But I feel like she actually did that a lot, because I read her ability to introduce characters as these likable people and then have them turn so fast into like someone completely different while still keeping it somewhat believable. To me, that was like a really shocking thing, but it was very interesting because now you have zero, like even with Stoker in the bathroom, you're like, oh, he's so charming, everyone likes him, he wants to do great things, and then he brains a dude with the bottle. Like,
well, not a dude, somebody he's worked with for years, who
His
he thinks is his friend, who
yeah.
isn't he like the godfather of that dude's children, and he watched them graduate or something? Like, he's been in this guy's life for a really long time.
so everyone is terrible.
Yeah, and like
Kinda.
like Papa Fuzz. Like Papa Fuzz was introduced as like, somebody that Musi really looks up to
Yeah.
and respects, and then all of a sudden he's able to sense his deep dark secrets.
I wrote no, and then an elephant emoji.
Oh, yeah.
The only one that's hard for me
God.
to sort of follow and like is Nambula. I think like some of her actions are probably more disconnected.
Honestly, that's good. She's at least half a god.
It's true.
She's not like us. Like, you're not supposed to be able to follow her.
Well, then I guess it's working.
I also feel like it's just her. I feel like a lot of her fate is going to be decided in this. It's like, is all of her rage going to win out now? And is she going to be an ire-based demigoddess?
Yeah.
Or is she going to finally like remember these lessons that Mr. Tao like taught her, and are her wings going to turn gold again? Which I really want them to. Like, I'm really invested in her future. I don't want her to be bad.
Yeah. Well,
I
it was
guess
really
we'll find
interesting
out.
to see her transformation, though, because like she started like loving the fact that she had followers and like how great it felt, and she wants to do good and save people. And then like her village and her mom turned on her, and like she wiped them all out.
She crucified 37,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's
She
so
made
many
national news.
people.
Yeah. And I think the way Nicky Drayden did Nambula and Mr. Tao was so interesting, because every time Mr. Tao was like, we were in his
On
sections,
screen.
yeah, I was so uncomfortable because you just knew what was coming because of the way that she'd like set it up. And then it wasn't that, and that was really fascinating. It like confused me. It was fascinating to read.
Also confused. I mean, everyone talked about chapter 4, and I did, I tried to stay away from some of the like discussions about it because I didn't want it to influence how I interpreted the book. But like, yeah, chapter 4 was very uncomfortable because like you're like with her and you hear about what happened to her mom and and like you hear about this like why she stays away from Mr. Tao, and you had the nightmare and like and then she's like, will you sculpt me? And like I think, and then she suggested it would be better if he did it nude, and you're like, what
yeah.
is what are you
Yeah.
doing? And then it takes a different turn, which was good. I'm glad it didn't go there.
Yeah,
But,
really.
I wrote
That-
this book makes me feel like a pretty great parent.
Well, yeah, this is like, everybody has family issues. Somebody mentioned that.
Peggy said so you wanted to talk about the main protagonists and their relationships with their parents, because it's all messed up. It's all really messed up.
I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I feel very normal and good. Our
There are
family.
no good familial relationships here. You have Muzi, who's disenchanted with Papa Fuzz now. You have Stoker, whose mom MIB flashy thinged him who knows how many
Yeah.
times, because she doesn't approve of his lifestyle.
Gosh, Rhea and her father.
That was just what? Like he went from I don't want to have anything to do with you to like let me regress to you being my creepy daughter in 0 to 60 seconds.
And yeah, Nambula and her relationship with her mother.
Her mom, all of a sudden, like that was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's terrible.
Well, the relationships that these people have with their parents is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Why do we like this book?
Well, it's really interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it did, there's so much like action. There's so many
Mhm.
people like sort of developing, and like the way that she's like revealed the godsend and like what the godsend does, which now sort of in hindsight, and we don't know where it's going, but like godsend seems to be a very on the nose name for this drug. But and like finding out like about the animals and how everything came to be, and like the crab and the dolphin and the peacock and all that stuff.
Porpoise.
The porpoise, sorry.
Kill porpoise.
And like that was really fascinating, and I thought myself smart, even though it was meant to be, that I was able to make that connection. It's like, oh, they were the crab and the porpoise when they sang, they were the peacock and the rat or whatever.
How does a crab make love to a porpoise?
I mean, well, guess we'll have to see the
They
movie.
found a way.
I don't even know how they would make this into a movie.
Yeah.
But
Well, sorry, go ahead.
but I wish I had remembered or better which each animal's like.
I got a list for that.
Of course, Christy has that.
Okay, so the peacock had beauty that made the others weep. Dolphin ruled with their intelligence. The rat can manipulate without being seen. The serpent could charm. The eagle can fly. And the crab had the power to bend the others' will.
Hmm.
So since we went there, and there's been several people asking, what do you think your creature would be?
What do I think? What?
If you took godsend, which one of these would you be?
Oh gosh.
So again, peacock had beauty that made
Probably either the peacock or the dolphin.
ruled with. Well, if Elkin can be the dolphin, then anybody can.
But that's the
Falcons-
point, though. But it's like, so this is like a recessive gene, and it's
Mhm.
not coming to the surface until the godsend reveals it, which is why, like, we saw Elkin, who everyone assumed was really dumb, but then all of a sudden he's analyzing the plays on the rugby field, and it's because it's something progressive that's now being exposed over time because of the Dick virus, which is a weird sentence to say out loud. Right? Like that's like what this virus is doing, right? Is it's awakening that recessive gene in all these people. So
But I think the godsend is even furthering that. Like it enhances even that.
Yeah.
so
that combined with the Dick virus.
yeah, crazy things are happening, because otherwise what would explain the fact that Rihanna, what's her name?
Rhea Nitrogen.
Thank
Rhea.
you.
Rhea.
Rhea, what explains the fact that not only, okay, so she's supposed to be beautiful, but all this unique stuff now that's happening with her absorbing pain, and with her healing other people, and with her voice changing, and with her like X-Men shrieking at her dad until he curled up in a ball. Like all these expanded abilities seem like it's a compounded thing of the godsend magnifying things and the Dick virus altering their genetics. Like
I do think that of all the people who are discovering their powers, Rhea kind of has the win-win there, because like she can heal people and then heal herself and sing better, whereas Muzi has the power to bend others people's will, but then
But at the cost.
he
The
sees all their
cost,
like
yeah.
worst.
Well, and it's really fascinating how their powers are evolving. And I really can't wait to start seeing some of these other powers. Like, we haven't seen much of the rat or the serpent or the eagle. And sure, the eagle can fly, but what else? If the peacock isn't just looks, then I don't know. I feel like all of these have to have like a lot more, and probably also big costs. And we've only seen a cost for the crab so far.
Yeah. Rhea's doesn't. The day is young for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, does hers have a cost though? Like hers is, she's losing her ability to sing unless she uses her power, right?
But I don't understand why the crab would have a cost and not the others, because the crab was Mr. Tao's favorite.
Well, she does have to, like, she depends on her powers to be able to thrive.
True.
So if she is not able to feed off of other people, she has to.
Actually, Rhea has something with her voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
her voice is gone if she doesn't use her powers.
She's froggy
So
until
maybe
she
that's
uses her
it.
powers.
So I want to know what Elkin's cost is going to be.
Mhm.
Now that he's-
swim with the
Yes, he's getting smart.
He just got really smart. Yeah.
And then Stoker, we haven't even much talked about Stoker.
Okay, you just
Stoker.
mentioned that he was the rat, but how
Was he
did
the
you
rat?
get to that conclusion?
I didn't see.
I didn't get
I
that.
didn't get
What
that
was?
part
Didn't she
either.
see him as something when she took the godsend though?
Did
She saw him
she?
on stage as something. Help me out here.
No. I feel like it was when Sydney was peering into the future, and she said she got glimpses of people using the drug, and so she saw the peacock, and she saw the crab and the porpoise, and she said she saw a rat. But the book, I don't think, has identified to us yet who the rat is.
I don't think
I
so
thought that she
either.
saw him as something.
I missed that if that's true. But someone else in the comments said they thought he was the rat. So
Well,
But then there was also all that stuff with Felicity's outfit had a cobra head and a snakeskin dress, and I was like, are they alluding to something there? So I don't know. I feel like
No,
that's,
that's what-
intentionally still being kept ambiguous.
okay. Well, we don't
Yeah.
know, and I just assumed. But
I do not know.
but yeah, Stoker. Is it Stoker?
Stoker.
Stoker.
Like Bram Stoker.
Yes. So we have this politician who has this alter ego as Felicity, who wants to be like basically American Idol and sing with Rhea.
No, she's like opening for Rhea.
Yeah. Well, she had to compete to get that position.
You're right. I gotta say that was actually probably the funniest part in the book for me was when Rhea
like that
was
part.
being a total jerk to everybody. Oh my gosh, my favorite
That was
line.
my favorite part.
You've
the whole
got talent, kid. Now, clearly that talent isn't in singing or dancing, but I've got a good
No.
feeling about you. I'm thinking accounting or finance. I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
And she was actually better than Rhea.
Well, that's Rhea's insecurities
Yeah.
coming through.
Yeah.
I keep shaking our camera.
Oh, stop that.
Well, now that makes me wonder though, because in that part, now that if we're going to speculate as to what Stoker's innate ability is, I wonder if he is the snake, because snakes are supposed to be charming, right? And so she is being a jerk to Rhea's being a jerk to everybody, and he comes out and he's like, "I'm gonna," or excuse me, Felicity comes out and she's like, "I'm gonna sing your song," and Rhea's like, "No, you're not." And then Felicity's immediately like, "Okay, but give me a chance, let me sing something else." And it was kind of unlike Rhea to immediately be like, "All right, go ahead then."
Yeah, you're right.
So
Maybe.
maybe he's a snake.
Maybe, but but at that point, he wasn't on Godsend. He was just he had been exposed to the virus, I guess. But
Maybe. Well, yeah, probably.
Apparently, it travels very, very quickly, and it's going to travel even more quickly if they enact the other plan, which was where you start to eat them.
and we
Yeah,
have
Eat
not.
a dick tick.
Yeah.
Eat
We
a
have
dick
not.
tick, Adam.
That's like my
We-
favorite question. Okay.
We
I'd
have
eat
not
that.
seen.
It looks good.
We have not seen Stoker since he got theoretically mind wiped by.
That was one of the last chapters
His
we read,
mom.
actually.
Is that he had sort of realized that she had. How many times did you flashy thing me?
Yeah.
Okay, and then flashy thinged. So but we know that Felicity did not show up for the rehearsal.
Mhm.
So something's happening there. But I think the fun, it's hard to necessarily identify with some of what the characters are going through, but they're all very fascinating, at least to me. I think they're all very interesting characters. It's not like I get to a section, I'm like, oh, it's a this person chapter, like you do with sometimes
Mhm.
you,
Game of
you get
Thrones.
like, you're like, ugh, just get to the next thing. Like here, I'm like, I think that helps make it a page turner for me, is that I enjoy reading about all of these people and not there's no like sort of lame ones.
Yeah, agreed. Well, talking about Godsend, Julie Turner Wheeler wanted to talk about, is the drug called Godsend actually something given to humans by a god or demigod trying to wreak havoc? Or is it something man-made that happens to be revealing divine sparks in all who partake of it?
Mm.
I have no
So-
clue. And how many other demigods are there?
Yeah, there's at least one. But then who is Stoker's mom's friend?
Yeah, the shadow dude. The
Or is he
shadow
just a
man.
crab? We don't know.
But he's obviously been there for a while though, right? And like
Yeah,
this is like a
years.
recent development. So I mean, I feel like if everything with the drugs is, I don't know.
Well, and Sydney seemed to think that it was just humans getting lucky. We don't know. And I didn't get the impression it was his mom that was doing it. I think she was just okaying
Oh,
it.
it's the other. It's the shadow guy.
I think it's the shadow guy because
I think so. He had a
yeah, he's like, this won't hurt much.
talon finger.
Yeah.
He's the eagle.
What did the eagles do again?
Eagles can fly.
That's
That is what Sydney said, Mr. Tao said.
They fly into your brain and take away
But
your
like
memories?
regular eagles can fly.
That's that's all it is. Now, that whole story, I loved it. The origin story was just fascinating to me. And I'm always a sucker for those, but I thought this one was really great.
You do love a good origin story.
I really do.
Also had a great life lesson, and it's called Don't Have 6 Wives, because even the man who created Earth is not able to juggle 6 wives without forgetting about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every time. Oh, wait. Let me go get back to my 6,000 children real quick.
Yeah.
Got sidetracked.
Oh, my bad. Other trees that I've turned into my wives.
Is she an eagle person though? She's a demigoddess? Is that like a whole? That's my thing. Is when they talk about them being able to fly, I was like, okay, does that mean they're eagles, or are they in a whole separate category because they're demigoddesses?
I think my brain says that she's in a different category.
I think her and Sydney should be in a different category, but Namvula can fly and has wings, and Sydney doesn't, right? They never mention wings.
She does.
Yeah, she has red ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has blood red wings because of her creepiness, but she's not strong enough. So when she like yoinked Namvula out of their township, she only made it like a kilometer away and then collapsed. She had to use the last of her ability to do it.
Right. Who do Bethany's? Was any of that story based on existing mythology? I have no idea, but if anybody knows, I really want to know.
Yeah,
I also don't know.
Group. I want to read about it. I think mythology is very interesting, like from every culture. Love it. Want to read more about it, please.
Yes. So what is it like? Carving the tree wives and then taking the hearts of certain animals and putting them in there.
Yes.
Or no, it was not the heart.
It was just a piece.
He took like a thing of them and put it in the heart of the tree lady. So it was like a crab claw and a peacock feather, and you don't think they listed the other things. I don't know what you take off of a purpose, but
yeah, this is the impression that I got too, that Leanne's saying.
So much to unpack.
Well, and that's what I wrote. I think it was in the poll, Christy, when you were describing this book. You were like, it has this and this and this and this, and I was like, how? How does it have all those things?
Yep.
And it's really, really interesting to see how they're all being woven together, albeit it's still very confusing, but we're also only halfway through. So
yeah, this was an interesting word for me. Bassos, or I don't even know how it's said, but like that's a new word for me, and apparently I don't know what it means. I didn't try looking it up because I'm lazy, but I tried.
I thought it meant belief.
Yeah, that's my context clues is what I got from it, but I learned it.
Okay.
I learned a word.
Good job.
And that's the end of the discussion. Everybody clap.
Okay, here's a fun one. Julie wants to know, what kind of designer hybrid pet would you order from Zed?
Not a dog iguana?
Okay, the Whippet iguana was terrifying, but we got some answers already. Julie would say either a rabbit dog or a hamster cat. Matt Weaver said miniature giraffe panda, which I think is a good choice. Katie Dahl, either a giant ring-tailed lemur or a straight-up stegosaurus. But it need to be like a mini one, I think. Matt Weaver also said an elephino. I guess that's a rhino.
Elefino. That's
Elephant. Oh, just for
that's
the
what you
punchline.
yeah,
Joke,
that's what you get when you cross an
It's
elephant
one-
with a rhino.
It's one of those things you have to say out loud before you get it. I get it now. I do.
Elefino.
Got it.
Leanne said something like a lemur raccoon hybrid because she's always wanted a Billy Bumbler. And Joe actually said an orca penguin, and he posted a picture on the group, and it's actually kind of cute and
Of
weird.
an orca penguin?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
would want.
I don't know. I have to think about it. I want to say like a puppy kitten.
But you could do like a giant eagle with like a horse and then end up with like a Pegasus and ride it around. That'd be cool.
Unless you got the wrong parts of each.
Natalie said a sloth cat.
A sloth cat.
That sounds good. Bird's
cat.
egg. Oh no.
A noodle with feathers.
What would you even do with it?
That'd be cute.
Ooh, let's merge something with a spider and give Adam nightmares.
No, that'd be bad. I don't want that.
What do you? It said so. The whippet iguana.
You're right.
Oh
true.
yeah.
A whippet iguana said when it barks, it sounds like something between a whistle and a sneeze. You're the sound master. What would that be like? What's between a whistle and a sneeze?
Yeah, that's about it.
But
That
it's
was pretty
barking,
good.
so you have to do it a bunch.
That was pretty good.
Can't.
You have to,
Might-
you have to do it a
something might come
bunch in
out.
succession until someone gives you a biscuit.
A dick cat. I get it. I get it.
Ah.
I get it.
Oh my God, Rachel, it's a feather boa. It's the bird snake's a feather boa. I get it.
Oh, I get it. Yes, we're all. This is going well.
Isn't a sloth cat just a cat? That's a good question.
True.
I just want a
True.
big red panda. Just a big one
So,
Oh.
A Clifford panda.
that I could ride. A kaiju red panda.
Oh.
I just want a kaiju red panda that I can ride.
That would be so cool.
And it rolls around on the ground. Cute.
I'm sad because they don't exist.
I know.
What would you get? Like a hummingbird puppy?
Maybe something mixed with a bird. That would be
Tiny
really
puppy
cute.
that up your finger.
Tiny puppy that like does this really fast and fights with other tiny puppies.
I mean, hummingbirds are actually pretty mean, so maybe not. Maybe not that. Y'all got some good ideas here.
Good goose.
It's even funnier because look at her profile pictures are duck.
Nice.
Lisa,
This-
your profile picture is a duck. That's hilarious. Speaking of, so I
Okay.
wrote this down when I first started reading the book when I had zero idea what to expect. Because I didn't even read the back of the book. I went into this with a no knowledge. And it started, and the first paragraph is like, just whatever. It's like, oh, you're meeting this kid. And I'm like shoveling noodles into my mouth and got to the very first line of the second paragraph and was like,
Well, where he was mourning his. Is
Yes.
that one? Yep.
His dick dick.
yes. And I was like, this is a bad time to be shoveling ramen into my mouth.
That was
Yes, he was too busy mourning the fate of his dick.
yeah.
That's the whole second paragraph.
So that but that sentence to me like set the tone for the rest of this book. I was like, oh, this is the kind of book. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, and Leanne says she's living for all the dick jokes. This book has just, I don't know, they did kind of make dick jokes the whole way through, which I really appreciated. Even after Rhea and the Philistine Lions had their little duo, and she's like, what did she say? Something about a dick problem.
Yeah, you need a longer dress to hide the dick problems.
And Stoker having to that you love that part where he had to go past or the crowd that was protesting the dick problem, and so he hid behind the poster that said "Eat a dick."
That was good.
There's so many good ones. And I hope it was very intentional. Like, yes.
You
Like,
know that there are.
We chose this because it's a cute little animal that exists for real. But I hope the author was very much like, oh, this is going to give me so much fuel to introduce so much levity into this book in the darkness.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's perfect.
You're gonna make that poster. You can make it with this picture.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, it even said that
so
on the
sad.
poster there was a really cute dick with really
Yeah, with, like,
dog
the
eyes.
just, like,
Yeah.
Oh man, whoever named that animal. Thank you for the levity.
Yes. Fantastic.
But the Dig virus is kind of the inciting incident of this whole thing. Sydney gets wind of it. And it's like, oh, it might be a insignificant minor change, but it's actually a not insignificant minor change.
And in the first half of the book, I'm wondering how much of what we're seeing has anything to do with the virus. I kind of get the impression it's just Godson so far. And if that's the case, this book is going to get even more wild.
But they said it really fast, because remember, Sydney cut a tiny little slit in the seam of that lady's lab suit and said that already, like she had given it to everyone in her family.
Well, that lady is Moosey's sister or something, right? Like she
is she?
Yeah, she came to his.
I totally missed that
ceremony.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have the same name.
Someone confirm it.
It's Brisk.
What?
I'm not going to be able to confirm it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same person.
Are you? Where? How? What?
Asamale, I guess.
Yeah, see?
And that's her name?
Oh
my
so
gosh, I completely missed that.
Everyone
I got it.
Everyone at the dick party is infected.
Yeah.
And
whoa! So that's the family that's already infected. Oh my gosh! She kissed him on the lips.
That means that Rhea's already
That's
infected.
when he started to manifest his things.
She was in the car with the brother-in-law.
That's why her abilities are so strong already, because she's got the dick virus. Oh, whoa!
See?
Oh, and that explains why. That's what explains why Elkin's so smart, even off Godsend, is because he's already infected with the virus. Okay. No, this is exciting. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Good job.
Hey, no, for real. I totally missed that. Whoa. That's why everybody's got it already.
Oh, that's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I paid attention to the names and so like I got the connection about the brother-in-law and the sister coming to I was like, oh, she did kiss him on the lips. And I was like, well, he's got it now.
Whoa. I totally missed that.
But
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Things have gotten even crazier. But while we're talking about Moosey's sister, I did write her speech when they're at the Dick party. Her speech about his spark and how your spark makes you who you are, was an unexpected heart punch. I thought was really, really beautiful. And then to end the party with Elkin and his balloons, broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like a total tonal shift either. It fit. And it added some much needed depth to not much needed, but you got some character depth there, and it was nice and created some conflict with the characters. Which, Elkin and Moosey's relationship is really fascinating too, especially within the culture and having Papa Fuzz be who he is, and them trying to navigate that. I appreciate it.
But we don't even know who Papa Fuzz is anymore.
No,
his entire life is a lie. He even lied about what ethnicity they are. Holy crap. Yes.
Yeah, we should not forget that.
I did forget that, so thank you.
Papa Fuzz sounds like a bad, early 2000s white guy rapper.
Opening for Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, Papa Fuzz.
Papa Fuzz. But Papa Fuzz.
He was an ivory hunter.
He went so hard into the culture and being kind of staunch about it, but turns out he's a big phony.
Yeah. Big old liar.
He didn't start out who he ended up as.
It's true.
It's like the nicest way of saying it ever. He started out slaughtering elephants, and now
But
he
I think it's
just cut
important.
his grandson's foreskin off, and it's not even their
Yeah.
tradition. Sorry.
I think Papa
Yeah.
Fuzz is remorseful. I don't think that he's like just trying to hide out, but still like, yeah, I think that he did not like his past necessarily because Moosey's whole thing is that he experiences people's like darkest secret or
Yeah.
something like that. It's just not necessarily something you're proud of.
This one here. The memories are people at their worst.
Yeah, well, Elkin's thing was not necessarily him at his worst. It's something that he lied about. It's like a secret that he's been
A
covering up
dark one, I guess.
about like his own father, which just adds to the whole like people's parents are not great in this.
Can we talk about his dad though, and what we learned?
Oh gosh, I had blocked that out already. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I wrote
Elkin's dad.
I wrote Bubba's
his
and
darkest
a
secret.
heartbreak emoji.
Remember his sister? Elkin's sister in the
Oh
bathtub?
yes. Oh my gosh.
He had a twin.
Yeah.
Did he not?
I had forgotten about that. I remember.
I'm
that.
assuming that it was a twin. I did not forget because it hurt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we don't
it
even
seems
know.
like, it seems like Elkin. Yeah, it seems like Elkin does not know. It seems like his dad removed every trace of her, and that Elkin has no clue that he had a sister. I'm assuming potentially a twin sister.
Yeah, and we saw sort of his like the way yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And like because he wasn't a deadbeat dad. He was like they were like happy until the sister died in the bathtub. And then I guess that wrecked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And made them super
And now
dysfunctional.
he's broken.
But yeah, like it's
I think the general consensus is that Elkin does not know about his sister or doesn't remember.
yeah. So that was a downer. But you know, how does Moosey even deal? Because I think that's where is it the stopping point when Moosey went to the sideline to experience literally everybody's
Yeah, right before
thing?
He was waiting for the 50 or so memories to hit him.
And that's gotta be awful.
That's gonna mess him up.
Yeah. So
Well, and we don't even know how it works when it's more than one person at a time either. So be
I guess
interesting to
we'll
find
find
Well,
out.
we don't because we stopped. You might, but don't say anything.
I'm pretending like I didn't read on.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah,
Good job.
like the consequences of his, because he made everybody at that game, first of all, like do his they all became his puppets,
Mhm.
and then he made them all forget about it. So that's the old twofer there.
And it's hurting me that he keeps wiping Elkin's memory about their relationship. Like he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
And I know it hurts him too.
I'll just mute for a second.
Oh, they're such good guard dogs.
Adam's yelling at his dog.
Don't yell at your dogs. What if they turn on to robots one day
Hey,
and they're gonna
you stop it.
get you? They learn.
I think they've stopped.
That was
Probably.
fun.
Okay, one more. Rick Wiles asked, if Godsend was a real thing, would you take it?
Nope.
Crab people. No, I'm good.
Nope.
Sure.
Oh,
What?
Stephanie treatment.
Nice.
I didn't know they were real until this book.
Yeah, I started texting him pictures and videos because I Googled them and they were way cuter than I thought they were going to be. And
But
he just needed to know about
And I think it's interesting that this is a world where a lot of animals have died off, and like they're like extinct, and now they have to be sort of fabricated in a lab. But dicks have not.
They're thriving.
Like we talk about, like, you know, the last surviving elephant, and you saw he got like a memory from that guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
and then or somebody experienced some sort of elephant experience, but the dicks are still going strong.
But I mean, it's not totally unrealistic with what's happening in the world and a lot of our endangered species. And it's true. And like I know the white-tailed deer population here in the States tends to boom. And that's where the dick virus came from, is from the United States. They created this virus to, what's it called? To
Sterilize.
Yes, to sterilize the deer population. So way to go, United States. But I mean, like,
yeah.
So to me, it didn't seem like, out of all the things happening in this book, that was the least of a stretch, I guess.
Yeah, it's not much of a stretch. I just think it's interesting that dicks still kicking it. But that brings us to the hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that I'm looking forward to reading the second half of the book. I'm into it. I'm enjoying it.
Same.
I don't want it to hurt me anymore, though. Like, I'm excited to keep reading, and I know I'm going to get hurt some more, but I don't want to. But I guess
I do.
I guess I'm more interested to see if you hold on to the same feelings through the end of the book, or if it does change. Because I think
discussions always help. Like just seeing some different perspectives. I just hope the payoff's satisfying for me. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, but
It'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah. So I don't want to get hurt, but I need my pain. But we have. Do we want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about the thing.
Okay, so you may have noticed we have not put up a poll for June yet, for June's book, and there's a reason for that. And Christy has this reason now.
We're going to do something a little different in June. So there's this author, Will White, and he did this cool thing where he wrote one story, but he wrote two different trilogies. It's two different perspectives in the story at the same time. So we're going to pick which book that we want to read in the group. Well, we're going to read both books, but you get to choose. One of the books follows pirates, and one of the book follows a ninja. So
it's the same story.
But it's the same story. So you get to choose pirates versus ninjas.
It's like Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue.
It is. Yeah.
It's the same game.
We're all going to talk about it. And when we talk about it, we'll be talking about it from alternate perspectives.
Yes.
So,
and I don't know. I don't know how the two discussions thing is going to work. We'll figure that out by the time we get there. But yeah, it's going to be great.
So yeah, we get to do. What are the names of the books?
It's this. Wait a minute, I have it right here.
Of Sea and
Shadow is the Pirates book, and then Of Shadow and Sea is the Ninja book.
Yeah, we're splitting up too.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm actually going to read the pirate, and he's going to read the ninja.
Doing ninjas.
And then I don't know if you guys have decided yet, but
yeah, she's going to do the ninja. I'm going to do the pirate.
Okay. So things you need to know: the Pirates book is going to be a group of people. The story follows a group of people, and it's a little lighter. The ninja story follows one woman, and it is a little darker because she's a ninja. But they should both be good. And
yes, Deb, we're going to post it in the lounge. We'll probably make a little video.
Yeah, we'll make a
post
little
about
video.
it. But yeah, so it's the same story, but from two completely different perspectives, and we're going to have a discussion about that.
Yeah, you go look in the Amazon store. It's not there yet. And it's because we haven't made the video. I will put them in the store when we make the video, which will be like this week. So hold tight. It's a coming.
Yeah, but because y'all were here with us on the live discussion, you heard it first. So pirates versus ninjas. I'll be the ninja. You be the pirate. And we'll see what happens. We've never done this before. And also, but the reviews or what you've read.
I did find a couple that each person or each person read a different book, and then they actually had a ton of fun like talking about it as they were reading it, which makes me think this will work. So we'll see. It might not, but it will be fun.
You don't know unless you try.
I
So-
think they're all adults, but I actually have no idea.
Yeah,
Maybe?
we should definitely dress up. And
Yeah.
I'll be a ninja.
How are you going to dress up as a ninja?
I just won't be here. I'll just be like,
They
I'm
might
a
be
ninja.
adults. They
Yeah.
might be adults. I'm not sure. We'll see.
yeah, that's I'm excited about it. It's our 2-year anniversary
Oh yeah, that too.
book. Because we've been around for 2 years, and that's crazy.
Yep, but not as crazy as this book.
That book is nuts. But yeah, Pirates versus Ninjas for June for a 2-year anniversary book, and it's going to be awesome. Is there anything else we want to talk about for the upcoming? Any announcements or any of the such?
Mhm.
For now,
For now.
but
Sure, we'll
tons of-
have-
for now.
We'll have stuff in 2 weeks.
yes. So there's no zombie perspective for Tal. Just for Tal, Tal, you get to read the zombie one.
No.
Just you.
No. Whoa.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing you at the end of the month on the date where we will talk about the second half of the Prey of Gods, which will
May
be May
26th.
26th.
May 26th. We will talk about the second half and the book as a whole.
Is a hole.
A whole.
Every time.
Dick. Oh.
Definitely gonna have more dick jokes.
Boom. So thank you for joining us and for reading along and talking with us. This is always a joy. So we will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.